Hello, I'm Jim Haas, Vice President of Operations here at Ntirety. What I want to talk about today is the multitude of skill sets required to perform core database administration functions. What a lot of companies don't realize until they get into the hiring process or the management of their teams is that to do thorough database administration, you need to have a variety of skill sets. Getting those skill sets in one DBA or a small set of DBAs is very difficult to accomplish. For example, you may need somebody who's an expert at architecture. You're rolling out new database instances, and those instances need to play a role in a larger infrastructure. Having a database administrator with architect experience plays a huge role in efficiently and properly implementing that new SQL Server. Another such experience item may be high availability or disaster recovery. Properly architecting high availability could take experience in storage, can take experience in understanding the deepest areas of the database engine, such as how the transaction log works, and certainly networking plays a big role as well. Another key aspect that as many companies get into the hiring process or as they get into the evaluation process of their DBAs, they find out that performance tuning is a skill set that not necessarily all DBAs share at an equal level, and some really struggle at it. A DBA that might be very good at, for example, core database administration tasks, installing, configuring a database, troubleshooting errors, is not necessarily the best DBA at troubleshooting performance problems that go deep into the database engine features. So all these different experience items are hard to get in one or a small number of DBAs. Many of our customers find that, for example, their DBA can do 25, 50, maybe a little bit more % of all the things they want to accomplish. That extends to a team as well. You could have a team of 2, 3 DBAs and the same problems could exist. We call that problem the half a DBA problem. So essentially you need a little bit of this experience, you need a little bit of that experience, and finding all of that experience in one or a small number of DBAs can be extremely difficult. So what ends up happening is you overhire DBAs to cover all those different experience areas, and they are idle for part of their time. So you're wasting money, or you end up settling for less than what you want. Projects stall, projects are slow. You can't accomplish all of your goals with the skill sets that you have on your team. That's where Ntirety comes in. We bring a team approach. Our entire team has every single database function covered across the whole team. Again, it's hard to find everything in one single DBA. So finding that the very small percentage of DBAs that have all of those experience is a very long, laborious process, and it's expensive when you find that particular DBA. Ntirety takes the team approach to managing your database environment. When you come on board and you're managed by Ntirety, you're being managed by a whole team of DBAs. All those different functions are covered by the team. The architect, the performance tuner, the replication expert, the full text indexing expert, all those core DBA functions, they all are rolled into the team, and the whole team manages your environment. This is how we overcome that problem, and you get it at a cheaper cost. The cost for hiring a team like Ntirety's is anywhere from 1/3 to even much, much less than the cost of going out and hiring 2, 3, 4 DBAs to cover all these functions. You get all of the functions covered, you move all your projects forward. If you happen to have an internal DBA, you free that person up to do more value add type work for your company, and you do it all at the fraction of a cost of having to build this large team to cover all these functions. So one such example is a manufacturing company that happens to be a current Ntirety customer. They had a DBA on staff. that DBA was trying to act as the architect in a very complicated environment and was also trying to act as the production DBA in that very complicated environment. In this particular case, he simply couldn't do all the things that needed to be done, and projects stalled, work stalled. And so they hired Ntirety. We came in and augmented that DBA and brought all of our experience to bear. Every single one of their projects which were being delayed now moved forward, and they were able to accomplish all of their goals, and even goals they hadn't even envisioned at the time of bringing Ntirety on board. This is how Ntirety can bring that team approach and solve all of your skill set needs and do it at a fraction of the cost of what it would take to hire a whole team to accomplish those goals.